In the season finale of The Golden Bachelorette, which aired on November 13, 2024, 61-year-old Joan Vassos accepted a proposal from 60-year-old Chalk Chapel on the picturesque beaches of Bora Bora. Joan, a private school administrator from Rockville, Maryland, had narrowed her choices down to Chalk, an insurance executive from Wichita, Kansas, and 66-year-old emergency medicine physician Guy Gansert from Reno, Nevada. Ultimately, she chose Chalk, stating she had actually found love. The couple's connection was evident throughout the season, with both having experienced the loss of their significant others. Joan's husband of 32 years, John, died from pancreatic cancer in 2021, while Chalk's fiancé passed away from glioblastoma. Their shared experiences deepened their bond, leading to a heartfelt proposal where Chalk presented Joan with a custom 4-carat Neil Lane couture diamond ring. Following the finale, Joan and Chalk confirmed they are still together and are excited to publicly share their relationship. They have not made any wedding plans yet but are considering a televised wedding. Joan plans to balance her time between Maryland, Kansas, and New York City, where they plan to have a home together. Bride says yes to a dress she hated, because it was the only one in the plus-size section, cried that night. In a moment meant to be filled with joy, a bride-to-be found herself grappling with disappointment when she had no choice but to settle for a wedding dress she didn't love. The bride, whose story has since gone viral, shared her emotional experience of shopping for her dream gown, only to realize that the options in the plus-size section were severely limited. The moment, which should have been a highlight of her wedding journey, turned into a reminder of the fashion industry's persistent challenges in catering to diverse body types. An excited start turned sour. The bride, who wished to remain anonymous, walked into a well-known bridal boutique with high hopes. Like many brides, she had envisioned trying on an array of stunning gowns and finding the one. However, her excitement quickly faded when she was directed to the plus-size section. Unlike the rest of the store, which was brimming with various styles and designs, this section had only a handful of options. I walked in with so much excitement, she shared. But when I saw the limited selection, I felt crushed. I couldn't believe that in this day and age, brides like me are still an afterthought. A dress she didn't want. Among the limited choices was a dress she immediately disliked. It wasn't what I wanted at all, she explained. The style didn't suit me, and it wasn't even close to what I had imagined wearing on my big day. With her wedding date approaching and no time to explore more options, she reluctantly said yes to the dress. I cried that night, she admitted. It felt like my joy and excitement were taken away from me. Instead of feeling beautiful and confident, I felt like I had to settle. A broader issue in bridal fashion. Her story is not an isolated incident. Many brides in the plus-size community have spoken out about the lack of inclusivity in the bridal fashion industry. While the average woman's clothing size in many countries is above a size 12, many bridal stores only carry sample sizes that cater to smaller frames. For plus-size brides, this often means fewer options, longer wait times, and additional alteration costs. I felt like I wasn't worthy of the same experience as other brides, the bride reflected. It's heartbreaking to feel excluded during such a special time in your life. Calls for change. The bride's story has sparked widespread discussions online, with many calling on the bridal fashion industry to do better. Social media users and advocates have emphasized the importance of body diversity and inclusivity in bridal collections. Every bride deserves to feel beautiful on her wedding day, one user commented. It's time for designers and boutiques to recognize that beauty comes in all sizes. Some bridal stores and designers are already making strides toward inclusivity. Brands like David's Bridal and others have introduced extended size ranges and inclusive marketing campaigns. However, stories like this highlight the work that still needs to be done. Turning pain into advocacy. While her initial experience was heartbreaking, the bride is using her story to advocate for change. She has started a social media campaign encouraging brides to share their experiences and call for more inclusivity in the bridal industry. I don't want any other bride to feel the way I did, she said. We all deserve to feel beautiful and celebrated, no matter our size. A hopeful outcome. Despite the challenges she faced, the bride is determined to focus on the joy of her upcoming wedding. With the help of a supportive community, she is customizing her gown to better suit her vision and has found strength in sharing her journey. I realized that my wedding is about love, not just a dress, she concluded. But I still hope for a future where every bride feels like the star of her own story. Joan says yes to Golden Bachelorette, finale fantasy beach proposal. Who did she pick? After 24 senior suitors, Joan Vassos has found her one man on the Golden Bachelorette. More than that, the beautiful widow from Maryland received a fairy tale proposal from a bended knee on a breathtaking Bora Bora beach, the luxury Conrad Bora Bora Nui resort, to cap off Wednesday's finale. After the heartbreak of the November 6 Fantasy Suites episode, it came down to two men vying for the 61-year-old bachelorette minus Guy, 66, an emergency medicine physician from Reno, Nevada, and Chalk, 60, an insurance executive from Wichita, Kansas. In every Bachelor ending, there's a twist, Joan told USA Today before the finale. There are tears and emotion. But there are happy tears, too. Who won the Golden Bachelorette? Chalk this up to persistence. Of course, it was Chalk. Just one syllable, like Joan, or, duh. Joan and Chalk, as a couple, have been so obvious for so long. So much so that Guy was toast after Joan and her grown kids met with Chalk in Bora Bora. Before his fateful final meeting with Joan, Guy was happy as a bachelor in paradise, not fazed at all about getting caught in a sudden rainstorm earlier. That's totally not a bad sign, he chirps to the mirror. But as Joan walks into his room, it's all tense without pretense. Can we talk for a little bit? Joan says, cutting straight to the chase as they sit down. I'm here to tell you that my heart belongs to somebody else. Tough move, but well handled. Stunned and speechless, Guy cries into Joan's shoulder, feebly asking if she might change her mind. Nope. The two walk out into the perfect cinematic rainstorm and Guy continues to weep in the rain like he's auditioning for Ryan Gosling's role in The Notebook sequel. Joan throws open her umbrella and walks away. Chalk wins Joan's kids over in Golden Bachelorette finale. Chalk, a widower who lost his fiancée Kathy to cancer in 2022, sails through meeting with Joan's 4 grown kids, Nicholas, Erica, Allison, and Luke. Chalk assures Joan's son, Nick, that it's not his intention to replace their father, John, who died from pancreatic cancer in 2021. I'm just here to make your mom happy, Chalk said earnestly. It works on Nick, and Chalk goes from stranger to getting the marital thumbs up. Meeting with Joan afterward, Chalk unleashes his love and lets her know he's fixing to propose all sealed with a barrage of, I love you, declarations. Joan cries tears of joy but doesn't say, I love you, back. Chalk is on the rack, even though he must know it's all about building up some kind of suspense. Joan has to throw Guy overboard first. And in true Bachelor Nation fashion, she'll try to wring out every ounce of drama to keep us through the commercial breaks. How did Chalk propose to Joan? On his way to his Golden Bachelorette, Chalk looks at the Neil Lane engagement ring for Joan on the boat ride. Like an exquisite sea goddess, Joan is waiting at the sand-filled end of the Paradise's open cathedral surrounded by turquoise water. I have a question for you. I've been waiting forever to do this, says Chalk, getting down on one knee while opening his box of bling. Joan, will you marry me? Of course, I'll marry you, Joan responds giddily. But first, Joan offers Chalk the symbolic gold rose. I love you, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you, she says. Will you accept this final rose? Now it's his turn to say, of course. We're engaged, the couple happily tells the camera. What are the engagement ring details? It's a bling beast. Chalk comes packing heat with a handmade emerald-cut diamond platinum ring set with 2 tapered diamond baguettes. The Neil Lane original came with 56 round brilliant-cut diamonds. The approximate total weight of all diamonds is 4 carats. No one is going to deny that bad bling boy. Longtime Bachelor Nation designer Lane didn't get his moment of glory on the finale, but he was in the studio audience. When will Joan and Chalk get married? In After the Rose of this season of The Golden Bachelorette, Joan and Chalk reunite. The two reveal they've spent some months secluded in Kansas, and now they can finally be out and about together. Chalk keeps his hand on Joan's knee with her hands on top. They are, as Joan's mother says, a nice-looking couple. In last year's The Golden Bachelor, Jerry Turner and Teresa Nist announced they would get married immediately in a TV ceremony. But that primetime reality marriage ended in divorce 100 days later. This time, there is no talk of setting the date, no plans for a reality show wedding, and no drama. Remember what happened in the last season of The Bachelorette. Host Jesse Palmer didn't even ask about the couple's future. Not one question. Will Joan leave her Maryland family to be with Chalk, or will Chalk leave his family in Wichita? Or can it be neither? Both families are awarded a trip to Florida's Disney World, which we'll have to do. Joan tells seniors and everyone watching at home to keep hope. Everybody deserves to have love and give love, she says. Take the leap of faith, find your person. How did Guy feel about losing Golden Bachelorette? Guy seems okay during after the final rose discussion, working up a white-toothed smile and looking tan, maybe a little too tan, but that might be the look these days. I thought I was the guy, he says ruefully before adding that when it comes to finding love, he knows he can do it again.